A mild-mannered office worker tries to discreetly steal the CEO's chair, but things don't go as planned. As our story begins, we find Bertrand, a man in his 30s, sitting in his office chair. To say that the chair is uncomfortable would be a horrific understatement. It appears to be held together by sheer willpower and duct tape. Bertrand clearly loves his job and takes pride in it, but the lack of basic ergonomic support is starting to take its toll on him. One day, as he's massaging his aching lower back, he overhears Martha, another office worker, discussing the fact that their company's CEO, the elusive Ms. Grimshaw, is out of the office for the week. Intrigued, Bertrand follows Martha to her desk and asks her what's going on. It turns out that Ms. Grimshaw is at a regional conference and her office will be empty for the entire week. And then it hits Bertrand like a ton of bricks. Ms. Grimshaw's office is on the other side of the building. It's hidden away and rarely seen by anyone, including Martha, is the luxurious chair she uses in her office. Every day as she leaves the office, she locks it with a key. No one except the CEO has ever sat in it. And now, thanks to the conference, it will be empty for an entire week. In a moment of inspiration, Bertrand asks Martha if he can borrow the key to the CEO's office for just one afternoon. Ashamed to admit that he just wants to try the chair, he tells Martha that he has a doctor's appointment that he's late for. Unfortunately, Martha knows her boss far better than Bertrand does and doesn't buy it for a second. She refuses to give him the key, citing the fact that the CEO would never forgive her if she allowed someone else to sit in her chair. Bertrand's hopes are dashed. But the next day, Martha mentions that she has to visit the copy room on the other side of the building. And as she mentions the CEO's office, inspiration strikes again. Bertrand pretends that he needs to speak to Martha privately about a work project and convinces her to let him lead the way. When they reach the office, Bertrand asks Martha again if he can see the fabled chair, promising to return it immediately. Once again, Martha refuses, though she seems much less confident in her denial this time. Then, without warning, Bertrand whips out a copy of the CEO's keycard from his pocket and inserts it into the slot. The door slides open. Seeing the chair for real, Bertrand is mesmerized. It is beautiful and luxurious. And against Martha's wishes, he sits down in it. As soon as he does, Martha grabs his shoulder and whispers loudly, "I'm calling security." But before either of them can move, the familiar voice of Ms. Grimshaw rings out through the office. "Is anyone in my office?" Startled, Bertrand and Martha turn to see the CEO standing in the doorway. In her hand is a document that she believes is a report on how well her employees are adhering to safety guidelines. In reality, it's a picture of a chair with a target bullseye over it. Bertrand and Martha quickly hide the evidence of their crime, which consisted of a single sheet of paper with the words "swap chair" written on it. After they've explained their crime and shown remorse, Ms. Grimshaw bursts into laughter, impressed by their audacity, and allows them to keep the chair if they promise to tell her everything about it in detail the next day over lunch. And so, the next day, Bertrand happily skips off to work, eager to show off his new chair to his coworkers. At lunchtime, he sits down with Martha and Ms. Grimshaw and begins his tale. And that, my friends, is the end of part 1. Tune in next time to watch part 2, where Bertrand learns exactly how hard it is to remove a chair from a locked office. Until then, please enjoy these other stories.